What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of our 2021 NFL mock drafts. I'm going back to back with my mocks. We'll hopefully have Sir, Charlie, or Dylan on another one. But we say it every time. This is the best way to get your mock draft content. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. We have so much other content, so make sure to check all of our stuff out. If you're new, these videos do so well, so we want to keep giving you guys consistent ones. But let's get into it. All right, pick number one. I'm not even going to say anything. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence. This pick will not change. Actually, obviously, with hiring Urban Meyer, there have been rumors circulating around Justin Fields. There's no way they go with him. I don't even think he's the second best quarterback. So I don't think that will happen. I think Urban Meyer will be smart. Going on to the Jets pick. Now, this Jets pick has gotten even more and more controversial. Because now Deshaun Watson, a video coming out that's tomorrow. Well, this will be posted tonight, so you'll see that tomorrow, will be a Wednesday. But Deshaun Watson, I think, is the best option for the Jets quarterback. They could go with offensive line. They could go with quarterback. And this pick might not even be theirs. Obviously, we can't trade or predict the future. I am going to give them, basing off if it's this is a tough one. I'm going to go with Penei Sewell because of the fact I think offensive line is just such a crucial part of football that not that people don't notice, but it's just such a crucial part. Penei Sewell, there's not a physically gifted O lineman like him in the way he shifts, in the way he's just in the second level run blocking. I know I had Devonta Smith, but it's I think it's Penei Sewell here. Smart option. The Dolphins go and get Tua's best friend in college, Devonta Smith, the one that caught the national championship winning touchdown. Devonta Smith, the Heisman winner, one of the most, in my lifetime, which hasn't been long, the best wide receiver I've ever seen come out of college, been compared to Devontae Adams, the way he's gifted in the way he uses his feet in his routes. Obviously, I know that sounds dumb, but the way he's shifty and is not as much of a physical receiver who uses their hands to get separation. I love Devonta Smith. I think he's such a talented guy. So I'm going to stick with him here. On to the Falcons pick. This one's a tough one, to be honest with you. I think they could go many ways, just in terms of what they need. But I think if they're here, is it Zach Wilson or Fields? Is it even, Kwity Paye? I think it's Justin Fields, just because of I think he'll fit there, and I think he's more of a play now, like a good quarterback or someone who's experienced now for the league. Obviously, Zach Wilson been questioned about competition and all that. So I think Fields fits there. Julio, if he'll be back or not. Gurley, if he'll be back or not. Ridley, they can build that confidence together. So I think he's a great pick. Excuse me. On to the Bengals pick. And I think they're mad Penei Sewell fell. Again, people are arguing that the Dolphins may trade that pick away and the Niners will go Zach Wilson. I think if the Bengals are here, and I've seen a lot of different picks and people going different ways, it's certainly a tough pick, but I am going to have them, and this is going to get a lot of hate. I can already hear it. I think they're going to go with Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. And I know, again, I can already hear people getting mad. Offense, I think it's such a big need after what happened to Joe Burrow, that offensive line they need to go with here. Rashawn Slater is my second favorite, or the second best offensive lineman. I feel like after Penei Sewell, there's a decent drop-off, but I love Rashawn Slater. I think he brings a lot in terms of the way he shifts and the way he's laterally quick. He's a bit undersized. He's listed as 6'4". I've seen he's 6'3", 6'4", which is not tall for an offensive lineman. Players like Cosme, who's ranked above him, is 6'7". Darius Saw 6'6". Penei Sewell 6'6". So I feel like someone who we saw, again, we said every mock draft, block Chase Young. So I like the pick here. They go with offensive line. And again, this is a trade down spot for the Bengals because Rashawn Slater will almost definitely be there, around pick 15. On to the Eagles pick, and they need so many things. I mean, they need a receiver, and they need a cornerback, and they need a linebacker, and all three of those of the best, Jamar Chase, incredibly gifted receiver, are on the board. And I'm going to have them go with Jamar Chase. Right now, with the young quarterback who's trying to develop in Jalen Hurts, it's more important to go with with a receiver that will just be that true number one guy. Their receivers have not been able to create separation. Aguilar's left, and he's prospered decently in Las Vegas. And, Jeffrey's old and injury prone. Jackson's the most injury prone person in the entire world. And, you get that trio in Sanders and Hurts and Jamar Chase, and that offensive line hopefully will be healthy next year. So I like the pick of Jamar Chase here. On to our next pick, we have the Lions. Now, here's the thing. Zach Wilson's on the board, and I'm a believer in in Matt Stafford. So it's certainly a tougher pick here, but I think the pressing need for them here is linebacker. And Micah Parsons is a Isaiah Simmons type linebacker, freakishly athletic, long, side-to-side player, someone who's incredible in blitzing, which I think the Lions could use because their just pass rush and defense overall is bad. So I think he's a someone who can be moved around and just be used in so many facets of the game that can help this Lions team. So I think he goes in and fits right there. Now, again, the Panthers are in a spot a bit lower than Eagles where they need a lot, and there's a lot of good players that fit those needs. They need a linebacker, they need a corner, and they need I personally am a Bridgewater fan. Again, as more more comments about how Bridgewater is so bad. I'm starting to side with you guys, Panthers fans. I gotta see, and I'm not gonna say Bridgewater is the most flawless quarterback. He obviously isn't. If Wilson falls, I'm gonna give the Panthers him. Now, if you're a returning viewer from one of our mock drafts, or at least one of mine, or obviously I had them go Caramel, I think last draft. I had them go Parsons. I think I had them go Surtain. But they get their future quarterback, probably let him sit behind Bridgewater. Maybe he steps in midseason. I know you Panthers fans are happy. And yeah, that's the pick for the Panthers. On to our Broncos pick. They need edge, they need cornerback. And here's a tougher one, but I think if Surtain falls here, I think you can't pass up on him. He's very talented, long, lengthy, someone who's a shutdown corner, one-on-one, someone who can shadow receivers very well. And with AJ Boye not really working out, Ojemudia, who's looked pretty good, the fourth round pick or third round pick out of Iowa. I think Surtain, it might not be out of Iowa. I think he's out of Iowa. I think Surtain just is that future guy. And onto our Cowboys pick. I think this could be a trade down spot, possibly, but I think they go back-to-back corners and go Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech, someone who, like Patrick Surtain, he used to be a receiver, so he knows the footwork. He's long, lengthy, fits that number one role with Trayvon Diggs, and I think you have, and Wilson, I think you have your future in Dallas. And I'm not happy because of that for the Giants, but the Giants now, they need edge, they need linebacker, they need wide receiver, and I'm going to go with a hot-ish take. I'm going to go Jalen Waddle. I really like Waddle. I think he's someone who's just a speed demon and someone who can burn you downfield. And again, with Daniel Jones, is someone who can get downfield really fast. A good thing since he's not that accurate? Maybe not. But I'm assuming Daniel Jones will be able to make the pass to Waddle, and I think Waddle just fits there. Not the number one receiver type guy, but I think he complements Slayton and Shepard well. Again, that's a tough one in terms of system-wise and the players that are there. But I like Waddle to my Giants. On to the 49ers pick. Obviously, imagine they went with Kyle Pitts. That would be a cheat code. They need quarterback. I could 100% see them trading up. But assuming that they're here, I'm going to have them go Trey Lance. I think Garoppolo, they've said he's going to be their guy. I'm not a believer in Garoppolo. I think he's past his prime or past his ability to affect games in a certain way or in the way he used to. And I like Trey Lance. I think he's a quarterback who is fast. He's able to escape the pocket. And I would love to see him in this young 49ers offense with gadget players like Deebo Samuel and Ayuk. I think it would just be such a high-paced offense. That would make a lot of sense. And I obviously love Kyle Shanahan. So I'm a believer in Lance compared to Lamar Jackson. So that's not obviously a good thing. On to our Chargers pick. They fell decently as they finished their season 6-9. 6-10. Sorry. My numbers are not good. But this is a tougher one. I mean, receiver, if Waddle falls, I would love to see him here. He hasn't, obviously. Offensive tackle's a need. And I think they go with Darisaw, someone who I like a lot. I think he's a really big guy and someone who has long arms. But maybe those Cosme. I think it's dependent there. On to our Vikings pick. They need inside offensive linemen. They need inside defensive linemen. They need safety. There's a lot of things that they kind of need. And I am going to have them go. I think they just need an offensive lineman. So I'm going to have them go Cosme. If Darisaw falls, I think it's Darisaw. But I think offensive lineman, at least tackle. Maybe they trade down, go Wyatt Davis, Vera Tucker. And then obviously Ezra Cleveland can be moved inside. He can be moved around on the offensive line. So I think Cosme, someone who's big again, 6'7". So I think he fits there. On to the Patriots pick. This is a tougher one, but I'm going to surprise some people. And I'm going to go with, Mac Jones. I think I think he just fits. It's hard to explain. I think Mac Jones just fits the system. He's a pure pocket passer. I think the the Patriots still have a very good offensive line, and I think he fits there well. And I think if you get him some receivers, maybe in the offseason, I think he just fits very well with this Patriots team. So I like Mac Jones here. On to the Cardinals pick. I've had this pick and I won't change it if he's here. I think Kyle Pitts, you give Kyler Murray more weapons than DeAndre Hopkins. And then you have obviously Kenyon Drake and Edmonds. Pitts is a Waller-like receiver. Sorry, not receiver, tight end. He's an unmatched. You can't match him up well. He's a mismatch everywhere across the field. And I think Kyler Murray just gets his weapon in Pitts. Into our Raiders pick. I don't know why I'm pausing weirdly. Into our Raiders pick. I think if Karamoa falls, I don't know why he's ranked so low. I think I was watching him in obviously the later games in the playoffs. He is huge. He is scarily huge. And I think Littleton hasn't worked out. I'm blanking on the linebacker from the Bears, 44. I think Karamoa is just a future guy for that defense. He's Micah Parsons. I think the two very talented linebackers in this class. So I think they'd be very happy to get him here. And the Dolphins now, they're back with pick 18, their second pick in the first round. This is a tougher one. I mean, Kwity Pace here. I think Osai's here. Running backs in need. Imagine if they went Bateman and got another receiver. But I like them to go for defense and go with Zaven Collins. This is a pick I've changed. I think Najee Harris and Etienne, but I feel like Flores probably wouldn't take a running back here. So I think Zaven Collins is a very, very and another linebacker that we're very athletically gifted. And I think he's just a smart player. And I think they fit him in there. Obviously, Van Noy has a gigantic contract and he's older. So I think Zaven Collins is that cheaper option that can slide in when Van Noy ends up leaving. Now our Washington football team pick. I'm a believer in Heineke. Hate me. Maybe they don't even start him. Or Alex Smith. I think they're serviceable. So I think they go with Rashad Bateman. Someone who has potential to be the best receiver in the class. Route running, he's incredible if you watch his film. Such a talented receiver. Someone who's good up in the air. I believe he's 6'1". Might be. Let's check. I believe he is 6'1". 6'1", right? I think he's very talented out of Minnesota, and I think you take some of the load off Terry McLaurin and put Bateman there. Into our Chicago Bears pick, another place where they would probably have liked to see Lance fall. And I think right here, it doesn't make sense to go quarterback. Who knows? Deshaun Watson might be on the roster by the draft. So this one, offensive tackles in need, and I think their preferred ones are not there. So I think that they go with Terrace Marshall. I really like Terrace Marshall, someone who's very physically gifted in the air. He can take contact and catch the ball. And I really do like him. I think he's a very underrated receiver. So I like him here. I think assuming Allen Robinson leaves, I think he's your future guy. And now our Colts pick. Quarterback is a need. And I think they would have loved to see Mac Jones fall. Do they go with Trask? I don't think so. So this is not an easy pick. But I think if they're right here, they go with J.C. Horn, someone who is physically talented, someone who's very aggressive. And I think he just fits the long cornerback. I think if there's one defensive flaw they have, it's at corner or secondary overall. Xavier Rose has been okay. Besides that, I'm not a massive fan. Rocky Sin's pretty good. Obviously, Kenny Moore is great. But I think J.C. Horn shores up that defense. It makes it even more scary. So I think he's a great pick there. Now, on to the Titans pick, someone who I've seen rise, and I think people really want to take Azeez Ojulari. Sorry, not Olujari. Someone who's a pure pass rusher, someone who gets sacks, can get by offensive linemen. I think that's what the Titans need to create pressure and create havoc in the backfield, especially with the division they are in. So I think it makes sense for them to go with Ojulari. Onto the Jets pick, their second pick of the first round. Again, I think this is a team that might not have this pick if they trade for Deshaun Watson. Offensive line's in need, but I think right here, give me Najee Harris, someone who boomed onto the scene. His draft stock rose up. Oh my God, I can't speak. Rose up due to his performances against Notre Dame and Not Alabama. He's on Alabama and against Ohio State. Completely blanking. Sorry about that. And I think he just fits, to be quite honest with you. I think he's a great player. He's someone who is like a Derrick Henry, obviously not as big, but has potential to be that kind of back, someone who's just a power back and a downhill runner. So I like him here. On to our Steelers pick. Tackles in need. I think they go with Leatherwood, someone who's a bit underrated. I think he's a very good tackle. And I think he can move into guard. So there's a bit of movement there. I think they're going to move on from Villanueva. Pouncey's getting old. So I think they need to upgrade that offensive line for the future. Another team with a second pick in the first round, we have Jacksonville Jaguars, who just went out and got Trevor Lawrence, tight ends in need. Imagine if Pitts fell. Tight ends in need, but I think they need to go and protect Trevor Lawrence. I keep stumbling. So I think Elijah Vera Tucker is the pick. Someone who's very talented. I think Wyatt Davis was injured, so I don't know what his injury was, obviously, in the championship game, but I think Vera Tucker's, again, can be moved to tackle, can be moved to guard, has a lot of flexibility there on the offensive line, which I think the Jags need since they're lacking talent there. Pick 26, and who would have thought we see the Cleveland Browns here? And, oh, my God, Kwity Paye just fell. I am very dumb. Oh, wow. Oh my God, I just had the Titans goes, okay, well, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. But if he falls, I think that the Browns are the happiest team in the entire league. This would be the steal of the draft. If Kwity Paye went to the Browns, and I think the Ravens and Steelers would be very scared. You know, Garrett on one side, Kwity Paye on the other, Richardson in the middle. That would be a very, very scary defensive line. If he falls, I think this is a no-brainer pick. And on to the Ravens pick. I originally had them going with Kadarius Toney. I feel like it doesn't make sense for them. So I think they go with Rousseau, someone who's fallen a lot, someone who's projected to be like a top, 5 pick. But I think if he falls here, he's very, very talented. He's a very raw talent, but I feel like the Ravens have a great defensive coordinator. So I think it makes sense for him to go here. Calais Campbell's a bit older. Ngakwe is very good. And I think Rousseau gotten a lot of sacks from the inside. Can he go outside? Depends. Saints, they need cornerback. They need quarterback, to be quite honest with you. And you know what? No, Winston's their guy. I was going to go with quarterback. They need linebacker. And I really, really do like Travis Etienne. Oh, my God. I just took the wrong player. I'm so sorry. I took the absolutely wrong player. I actually had the Bucks taking him, so kind of works out. Or sorry, not the Bucks. Who did I have taking them? Completely messed this up. I had the – who did I have taking him? I had the – you know what? I actually had the Bills taking him. So sorry about that. But so we're just going to pretend this will be the Bills pick. So the Bills go with Etienne here. I'll talk. So Etienne, I think, fits them just a lot better. Again, if you're seeing this, Etienne is not going to the Saints, going to the Bills. Obviously, they're not going to take him with Kamara and Latavius Murray. But I think he fits. And something I would love to see with the Bills. I know running back's not a need, but I think a receiving back and someone who can run down the field. Zach Moss, I know they took, and I know they've taken a lot of running backs, but none of them have really panned out how they want to be that true guy. So I think Etienne is the pick for them. On to the Buccaneers pick. They need edge. They need inside defensive line. They need wide receiver. So I think right here, if Osai falls, why not go and grab him out of Texas, someone who's very lengthy, can be an outside linebacker type guy. So I really like the pick here for them. On to the Bills pick. Travis Etienne, as I said. So this is actually the Saints pick for me. The Saints, it's a tougher option. I think they go with Nick Bolton here just because of how talented he is. And I think he's very aggressive and very fast, which I love about him out of Missouri. And I think he's that all-do-it linebacker, which they're lacking. Obviously, Demario Davis is getting a bit older, and then Anzalone. So I think they need a linebacker for the future. The Packers pick at 31. Cornerback, wide receiver, they all need that. I think if Kadarius Toney falls, why not go get you another weapon for Aaron Rodgers in an attempt to make him the quarterback he was this year, but will be next year. Kadarius Toney, incredible after the catch, and I think he complements Devontae Adams very well. Devontae Adams, that all wide receiver one, can get in the air, can run incredible routes. So Kadarius Toney is that under guy who makes plays. The Chiefs pick, they need wide receiver as well. But I feel like they would need a Terrace Marshall type guy. That's, in my opinion, what I think they need. They need inside offensive line as well. So I think they go with not a boring pick, obviously, because Wyatt Davis is incredible. I think he's the best inside offensive lineman in the draft, but they go with Wyatt Davis and protect Mahomes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. You made it to the end. Congrats. I don't think I would, but congrats. Like, subscribe, content coming. Usually we have much better videos, not just we're screen sharing. We usually edit our videos and they're much better. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for our Deshaun Watson trade rumors video that will be coming tomorrow, and we will see you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching.